Hey,
Hey
Kaisa, how
guys.
are you?
Hey!
So good to see you.
Oh, so good to see you. Sadly, we don't see in Istanbul face to face, but now connecting.
Are you in Istanbul right now?
No, but we fly tomorrow. So I'm calling from Naples, Italy.
Oh, I'm so jealous of Kaisa's life, and I would love to give you a warm welcome. You guys, Kaisa is a digital nomad right now, and she's also a coach that's really helping people transform their lives and their businesses. Basically like digital nomading and scaling your business. And she's actually from Finland. I don't know if anybody's been there. Please drop it in the chat if you've been there. I haven't, but it's on my bucket list. It's one of the world's happiest countries. And I think it totally reflects just how you are, Kaisa. I mean, you're just a ball of light. And I just really appreciate you being here with us and sharing some insights of, your journey, how you've lived in literally, I don't know the number of countries. How many has it been now?
I've lost the count.
Maybe like
I
seven.
think only last year it was like 30 places,
Okay,
but
but
visiting
actually,
and living.
actually living for like 6 months or something, right? Or 3 or 6 months.
We'll get to this, but we usually live like 1 to 3 months in one place at a time.
That's incredible. Wow. Well, let me continue with your intro before I get
Yeah.
distracted. I still find it like so incredible that you've lived in so many places. So since 2013, Kaisa has made like conscious life changes, and she really has gone through a lot with her identity and just developing kind of like this thriving mindset, because when you move abroad, you get to have a thriving mindset. You get to really become a bigger version of yourself to do this, because it's really hard. And she lives a really robust lifestyle. So basically, she's worked in various marketing roles throughout her career, but then she was seeking like a new career path because she wasn't really feeling completely fulfilled. And now she helps other people grow and scale their businesses. She also helps them really find like the passion in what they really want. And then she's also a digital nomad that lives everywhere. So thank you so much for being here. Can you give us kind of an intro and your story of how you've gotten to be where you're at? It's honestly incredible.
Thank you for the introduction, Shauna. And it's how many minutes do you want? Because I have a shorter and longer version.
Yeah, just a
The
couple minutes.
journey,
Just a couple minutes of like, tell us
yes.
what you're all about.
So the journey has, I mean, I would say that it's different for everyone, and I'll share what kind of kickstarted my whole life and career transition was actually meeting my husband 6 years ago. And
Congrats.
yes,
Congrats.
my thing was actually love was then driving my life changes and decisions, and knowing your kind of first priority or your values will help you to make these decisions. So even though I was scared, uh, there was a lot of fear around moving abroad, and leaving my home country, leaving the um, let's say safe, secure lifestyle. Because I'm from Helsinki. I had built my corporate career in marketing for 10 years. Uh, I really enjoyed, but then happened that I met my husband, and I was like so certain, like this is the man that I want to get to know better and really explore life and share life experiences with. So then I started to think like he's actually Mexican American and was living in Houston, Texas at a time, and I was in Helsinki. I had just bought an apartment, so I had a 25-year mortgage when I met him. So
Wow.
I was like, whoa, I guess there was a voice saying to me, like, hey, Kaisa, you're not ready to settle in Helsinki. You get to explore the world with this guy, Luis. And when I was, like I said, very certain about spending my life with him, and he wanted to come to Europe. So he actually got a transition to London, and I was thinking like, how can I move to London? So in order for me to be happy in my life, also professionally, I wanted to find something that I find meaningful, that I would be passionate about. And it was actually clear to me that it was something else than marketing. It was a little challenging to think about the career transition while moving abroad, while starting a life together. So I basically left everything behind and changed everything at once. So that's why I'm passionate about helping others to make bold decisions and changes in a way that they feel comfortable. So maybe not all at once. Sometimes that's the case. And how can you bring the joy and ease to making such big changes? But yeah, that was kind of like what drove me to relocate to London. They were actually going through the Brexit, so I didn't even know if I could stay in the country when I moved there.
Wow.
So like I said, there was a lot of fear around, like, not only relationship, leaving my 10-year corporate career, leaving my family, my friends, and renting out my apartment that I was just renovating for myself. So a lot of things at once. Yeah.
That's kind of sharing. Thank you for sharing, because a lot of you, and please put me in the chat if this is you, a lot of you guys probably have a lot of moving things happening around. What I've heard from other, friends, colleagues, other people that have attended this summit, elderly parent, we've got a mortgage. Oh, we just signed a new lease on our apartment, so maybe it's not a mortgage. My job. Oh, I don't know if my job will let me work abroad. Oh, I'm not really passionate in my life. I mean, there's so many things. I don't have a partner, or I do have a partner, or I have kids. It's so much. So I can't believe you had all of this happen at the same time. How did you navigate it? Any tips for us? Because a lot of you, if you can put me in the chat, or probably have multiple things going on at the same time.
Well, thanks for the question, because I can honestly say it wasn't easy. I tried to figure things out on my own, in my head, and I was so stressed out. I felt lonely because my husband, or boyfriend back then, was elsewhere, and I was like, okay, kind of time pressure to wanting to move, but then at the same time, how do I handle everything? So like I said, a lot of moving pieces, trying to put them all together, and what do I do at what time? So I definitely could have used some life and career coaching, which I didn't even know how to look for, because that wasn't very maybe common in Finland back in the days, 6 years ago. Now getting coaching is more and more popular, but it didn't even occur to me. But once I had a panic attack on the phone with my boyfriend, I was like, okay, I get to ask for help. So I started to chat with my friends, and especially entrepreneur friends, and they happen to be in the field of coaching. And I was like, oh, what is this? I knew I wanted to work with people, and that really resonated with me. In my previous jobs in marketing, I had also enjoyed facilitating people's learning and growth, and how they can just like thrive. So that also aligned. There was many things resonating with coaching. And then I actually found a coaching program in London that I wanted to join. So that was helpful for me to kind of make my changes in my case. And then I had asked to work remotely from London, but this was before COVID, so there wasn't remote working options like today. Yeah. And I was doing event marketing when events were also face-to-face mostly. So that was kind of my idea, that I took a study leave, because in Finland you can take a study leave. So I didn't resign right away, because I was scared that what if we don't work out, and I'm gonna move back to Finland. I kind of wanted to have a plan B, but I would also encourage people to be bold, like go after what you truly feel like it, because that's usually the best. I've made my best decision based on intuition. So I want you guys to follow your heart where it wants to take you, because I I would say then you have the most courage and you feel the most certain about going after those as well, and getting some help, whoever it is for you.
Right. And I think it's really important that you talk about this support piece and whatever that means for you guys, though. But think about this. It is an uncomfortable thing to move abroad. It's not easy. You are probably going to be doing it on your own. Maybe your friends aren't going to understand you. I would hope friends and family would be supportive, but you would be surprised. A lot of people that I've had one-on-one calls with, they're dealing with situations where people are trying to dissuade them from going, or people just don't. Why would you want to leave all this? Why would you want to leave this corporate job? But they don't understand what you're feeling, what you really want. And so that's why getting on board with people that are here to support you. I'm a big advocate of everybody having a therapist, somebody to talk to, especially during this transition. Having somebody like Kaisa or myself, like, we will give you some tips. We will be there pushing you forward, like motivating you. That's why we've created this summit, is so you guys can have a place, it's a supportive community. We're all here doing the same thing. So I hope that helps. And I really appreciate you bringing that up, Kaisa, and following your intuition. It's so important. So some people are asking in the chat, and thank you guys for putting your questions. I have put Kaisa's free gift. If you want to explain what your free gift is, Kaisa.
Yes, of course. So what allows me to travel around the world is running an online business. So I started coaching training before COVID, and actually everything moved online. So I've been coaching individuals and groups virtually, like on Zoom, and hosting events like this, workshops and everything. So I'm helping people to find those revenue streams online so you can work remotely, whether you want to have your business. I've also helped experts who want to be employed. Not everybody have their own business, but actually nowadays more and more people are, for example, employed but wants to build their business on the side and transition to entrepreneurship. So I've kind of seen a lot of combination, and I think that's more and more common, that people want more financial abundance, more time freedom, location flexibility to travel more. So maybe not in every case they would move abroad, but they would want to spend more time abroad. So we are looking at different online options, how they can work remotely, have a business online, whether it is like passive income streams or like coaching, mentoring. I have educators, creative professionals, consultants, therapists, counselors who can do that, because like there's so many opportunities online and maybe too many. So that's why I would advise to have someone to guide you through, like, okay, where to start and what would work for you, because there are so many channels, so many options to do anything from courses to workbooks and hosting webinars or everything. So the free gift that I want to give you is that I recorded this 12-step free training for you, the 12 steps that I consider like what are essential for you to launch your online business. So it'll guide you through. There's also a workbook when you sign up. So there's more examples and questions to help you through those steps.
Tell us. Okay, thank you so much for giving that. That's really awesome. And yeah, it's how many of you guys actually have a business, or you have a business online, you're thinking about using that as, and this is why we're bringing this up, is there's digital nomad visas. So if you have an online business, which you can do a lot of different things, we're going to be talking about it. I would like to ask you some more questions specifically about this. You can apply for these digital nomad visas all over the world, stay in those countries, just proving that you make, $2,400 to $3,000. So in terms of the creating your own business, first of all, how many of you guys have a business? Put me in the chat. or you want to create one, put me in the chat, because this could be an entryway for you into a country. How did you start an online business, and what are your tips for people? You can maybe even give us some insights as to what you're sharing in the free gift. But yeah, that would be awesome if you could touch on that.
Yeah, so I did start my business. I registered in Finland, and I'm actually paying insurance in Finland, my home country where I'm from. So wherever you are, I would look at the options, what works for you. So for example, in my case, when we actually got married, that helped us to move US, Europe, and kind of like then, especially during the COVID, we were traveling a lot. Luckily, very safely doing that, because we were kind of homeless, but I want to say that the world is our oyster. So yeah, traveling during the COVID. So for example, then there was a lot of restriction during that time. But so for us, it kind of worked that we were then being able to go to a few places as a spouse. But yeah, like I said, I decided to register my company in Finland, but I offer the online services to anywhere in the world, because now we have the tools to meet online or build the courses online, or whatever it is for you, that what kind of works for your clientele. And the 12-step formula kind of guides you through all that. What's your ideal client and what do you offer them? And then thinking about the services that what to offer online. So I'm not going to go into too many details because we don't have time for that now. But this is just an hour recording, and you can of course pause it, and it's meant to do that. You can do that over 12 weeks, for example, for you to figure out what's the company model that you want, where do you want to register it, what works for you. Like I said, I decided that I'll register mine in Finland because I'm also paying the insurance as an entrepreneur there. That then counts to my pension if I ever choose to retire. But yeah, I would say, like, look at your options, what are in your country. Of course, I know many Finnish people who have registered their businesses, for example, to Estonia or elsewhere in Europe. So if you're in the States, I understand that that's fairly easy to just register it there. And check what are then the tax options, like how do you tax if you have clients all over the world? How does that work for you? And that might be one way to choose also where to register your company. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, and it's good insights because it's important. The tax thing, it's super, nobody really has all the answers. That's why we always recommend that you guys talk to a tax professional. But in terms of like the online space, like what can people do? What are options? It sounds like a lot of people want to start an online business. River said wants to start an online business. A lot of other people have, Tim has said he'd love to, Chelsea. What are some good options? What have you seen for like ideas for businesses? What are their options?
Yeah, so I mostly work with consultants, for example, from different fields, or those who are really experts in some area. Coaches, therapists, counselors, or also like from the creative world. You can, for example, offer marketing services. I'm from marketing before, so I know like web designers or graphic designers, and most of these things you can really do online. So I think it kind of depends on your field and your audience, that how do you want to serve them? What would help them to get to where you want to direct them? Like what would be their problem, for example, and what kind of solution you would give them. Just as an example, this like, so you get the free training, which is 1 hour going very quickly through the 12 steps to launch your online business. Or if you're, for example, a realtor, which is very locational, if you want more location freedom, you could also have more services online. So it's not only for like full-time digital, you can also build new income streams, offer new services online. So those options could be, you know, anything from like very tight, small, like workbooks, webinars, workshops, to then building like bigger courses. Like this 12-step program is actually, I work with one-on-one or in a group format to then have meetings 12 weeks in a row to guide them through all the questions and making the decisions to launch their online business. So then that's one way to, for example, work 3 months with me. So depending kind of where you are and what kind of services you want to offer, there is many options, like I said. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get some more specific questions in the chat so I could maybe then support. But like I said, even if you don't offer all the services online, you can also kind of grow your more like passive income streams there. And maybe you want to spend the summer in Italy, like where we are, and and then have more passive income streams, maybe on-demand courses or trainings, because there's a lot of, I mean, basically any profession, you can educate others in your area. I have, for example, a wine expert who wants to do wine tastings, and I can see already a lot of possibilities for her in the online world as well. So hopefully getting to those too.
Wow. So it's basically the possibilities are endless. That's the thing, everybody. So if you're confused on like, I don't know what the online business should be, or maybe you tried one and it failed, don't give up. I mean, Kaisa and I both have started our businesses. I have two, I believe Kaisa has run multiple businesses, and you can pivot. I mean, you don't have to, it doesn't have to even be, it could be your skills that you have, but you can also learn a new skill. We're going to have somebody come on later and talk about virtual assisting and social media management. You can do so many different things. And I think the biggest thing is to get clear on what is it that you really want? What are your values? Who do you want to impact? Are you a people person? Are you a numbers person? How can I support somebody online in an analytics role? There's so many different things that you got to do, but just start asking yourself these questions. Journal it out. Schedule that call with Sharina from before. I mean, our experts are going to be giving you guys like free time to book calls with them. Some of them are going to be giving you resources and courses to take, like really dive in and better yourself so you can have a better idea of how you can make this your life. You guys, please, it's time for live Q&A. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Maria said, oh, I want to hear more about the wine tasting thing. That does sound really amazing. I'm guessing, Kaisa, this is one of your clients that you're working with that has a wine tasting business, but she wants to turn it digital, right?
Well, actually, she works part-time and she's building her wine tasting on face-to-face. So at the moment, the wine tastings, if you're in Tuscany area, I can hook you up. So it's for tourists to have a personal wine tasting experience. But what I mean, like for her, with her, like for example, the next step, if she wanted to have more time and location freedom, which she does, is to, for example, educate. You can do like programs. She could be educating people to learn more about Italian wines, because that's her expertise. She's been doing that for over 20 years. So for example, those who would be wine enthusiasts and maybe are not right away traveling, or they would want to learn more before traveling to Italy or moving to Italy, I could see a lot of possibilities to host different, for example, online virtual events, summits, but also like maybe courses. So I could see a lot of possibilities for people who have more local things, even like lawyers use that about accounting. If you're a numbers person, I mean, I work with my bookkeeper just like virtually, we just email. So maybe that could be something that you don't need to be in one place. But so yeah, I mean, the possibilities are so endless. We don't have time to go through all the options in the world. I would advise you to get creative, like what it is that would work for you. And like I said, in the 12-step training, I have more examples, so hopefully that helps. And for those who take the training, there's also a link to book a call with me if you want a business audit. Like, for example, if you're starting, how does this business idea look like? And I can then give my feedback, or like 3 steps. What do you want to focus on first? Also, if you are a business owner already, then we can look at what could be the opportunities in the online world for you. You don't want to be building everything at once. So what you want to start with, and then, like Shauna said, to test out, because that's the beauty of being a business owner, that we can pivot. I was doing more career coaching at first because that was the area I struggled. Now I want to help the experts to build their businesses so that they can have the freedom lifestyle, what I call working from when, where, and how you want. So that's my pivot. So what can it be for you? There's so many opportunities.
Thank you so much for elaborating on that. And there was a question from Meg. Hello, Meg.
Yes.
She asks, what is the most challenging part about moving every 1 to 3 months as a digital nomad?
Surprises. There, like, anything can happen. For example, I was struggling with the Wi-Fi today, so I'm actually now trying on my husband's laptop if this Wi-Fi works. So hopefully you have all had a good connection.
Yes.
So the surprises.
Yeah, the surprises. And I can attest to that because I'm in Germany, and the Airbnb, I confirmed it multiple times. What's the Wi-Fi speed? Is there good Wi-Fi? I get to the Airbnb, obviously, to do the summit. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It is crap.
Oh.
It's logging me off every 2 seconds. So anyways, had to pivot, and now I'm in a co-working space. But we have one other question. How do you handle the language differences? And do you recommend learning a little of that language before moving? And then we're going to bring Damien on, and we're going to talk about Italy. You guys are going to love this chat. It's going to be amazing.
Oh my God. Yes. Learning the language, of course, helps, and it depends where you're going. For example, here in Naples, people don't speak as much English than in Rome or Milan, for example. But if you're, maybe Damien knows better, but we were spending time in Sicily, and if you're really in a touristy places, then there's people also speaking English. But if you want to kind of like get to know the people and the culture better, the language is such a big part of the culture. So we lived in Mexico and Buenos Aires. My Spanish is not very good, but knowing a little bit really helps. And we actually, I didn't tell you, but we met in Argentinian tango event in Finland. So that's our passion with me and my husband. So that's how we are kind of choosing the places, not always, but Italy, not only for food, but also for tango. So we actually always have a community, always where to go. So we just go to the local social dances and meet new friends right away.
Amazing.
So sometimes it was a little sad that at first time here, I didn't speak Italian really, so we couldn't really communicate that well. But now a little, I mean, not good in Italian, but I can understand more. And so yes, I would suggest to learn the language a little bit.
For sure.
That helps to integrate and learn. Yeah.
This is so interesting. And Kaisa, thank you so much for being with us. And guys, give a warm, invisible round of applause, please. And say thank you to Kaisa. I just think it's so interesting. Kaisa, please meet Damien. Damien, meet Kaisa.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I think it's so interesting that I scheduled you guys to speak right after one another, and you both are in Italy right now. And that's kind of random because Kaisa is a digital nomad. So we didn't really know she was going to be in Italy when we booked this months ago. So what are the odds?
So cool. Yeah, I want to say just the last thing that I'm a business owner, so I'm an entrepreneur working online. My husband is a consultant, so he has 100% remote contract. At first, it was 80% with another company, so that was the reason why we were 2 months at a time in one place, and then he visited the office. So I just wanted to say, for those of you who have family or partners, you can figure it out, and it doesn't mean that you both need to be entrepreneurs or something. Like, there's now so many options to work remotely. So get creative, follow your heart and the intuition and where that will take you. You don't need to know everything at once. Just go and you'll figure it out.
Oh.
Enjoy the journey.
So much, and we love your energy and your inspiration, and I will see you soon. You guys, Kaisa's free gift is in the chat, and after this these sessions I'll also send it to you guys. Thank you, Kaisa. See you soon.
Thank you. Look forward to meeting you all.